Hi, happy Webtoon Wednesday. Today I'm going to be talking about a webtoon called The Princess Imprints on the Traitor. Now, this one is a royalty kind of webtoon, and it is a reincarnation webtoon. So if you're into that, you're in the right place. It also has romance in it. So our main female character, her name is Evenrose, and you start off with her being in the castle, and basically the empire or the city or the capital, however you want to say it, the town is on fire. One of the humunculi, which is not like the humunculi from Full Metal Alchemist, these humunculi aren't really gross or disgusting. They're just normal looking people, and they're very handsome and they're very athletic. They can actually use magic, but they can't use alchemy because they were created from alchemy. Now, this homunculi has been able to rebel against the Empire and the Majesty. It's Evenrose's sister who is the Majesty now. So she was a princess and then she became her Majesty. I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. I'm sure I'm confusing you too. So this homunculi is actually able to break not necessarily the enchantment, but the imprint. So to become a humunculi who works in the castle, the king will actually imprint into or onto their soul where they have to obey him. And this story does involve like the Philosopher's Stone is also a part of how the homunculi is created, and how the royal family is able to control multiple different homunculi. Now, like I said, Evenrose in the first chapter, she's sitting there basically waiting to die. And the humunculi traitor, or the man who started the rebellion, comes in and is talking to her. So someone ends up coming in, like another homunculi ends up coming in and saying that there's something wrong with the baby and that he needs to go right away. So the homunculi traitor ends up leaving. And then her sister comes in, Evenrose's sister, who's also a princess. Those are the last two princesses alive, and the only people of the royal family alive. Now her sister comes in pregnant and basically tells Evenrose that she's going to be executed that night, and like her head's going to be chopped off and she's going to be hung on the castle wall, and just like all these horrible things are going to happen to her, and it's going to be super painful. So her sister's like, well, why don't I just give you this poison? I hit my head. Why don't I just give you this poison, and then you can take your own life, and it won't be nearly as painful as dying at the hands of that traitorous man. So Evenrose, thinking that her sister is doing this out of love, ends up taking the poison. But when she does, her sister gets up and starts dancing around like, yes, you're dead. Thank you for dying. Now I'm the only one left, and he's all mine. So you feel this betrayal just like she does. Like immediately she's like, what? You wanted me to die? You wanted to be the only princess left? And that's kind of like her last thoughts as she fades into death. Now the homunculus, who was the traitor, comes back to the room and sees that Evenrose is dead. And he is stricken with grief. Now Evenrose dies thinking that this man hates her and that he just wants, her gone. She thinks that he's going to execute her because that's what her sister tells her right before she kills her, right? So he's distraught, and you can, like in the drawing, like you could see it in like the drawing space, and he picks up her dead body and like holding her close. I was like choking up reading like the first couple chapters. I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. Like he finally gets, I'm like tearing up now. He like finally gets to this point where he's able to be with her. He's able to be with Evenrose because he loves her so much, and it's against the law in this country that royal family cannot be, or nobody can be with homunculi. They say like homunculi can't have kids, that they cannot ever fall in love with the royal family, but he fell in love with Evenrose years ago. So when her sister is going to send her off to be married, that's when he rebelled against the empire with his fellow homunculi so he could save Evenrose from going and being married to some like horrible person. And then her own sister kills her, and this guy, our main male character, is just like traumatized. Like he is so sad, and you can feel the sadness, and it's awful. Like I said, I was tearing up. So he calls for all these other mages or sorcerers, anyone who can bring her back from the dead, because they have the Philosopher's Stone. So to him, he's like, I don't care what it takes. I will kill the pregnant princess to bring Evenrose back. The only reason I rebelled was so I could be with her, and now she's gone. There's no point for me to continue on if she's not here. So all these mages come, sorcerers come, and then finally one comes, and she tells him that she cannot bring her back to life because her soul has already left the body. But what they can do is they can turn back time. It's going to take a lot of the Philosopher's Stone in order to do this. But no one is going to remember anything from the past except for Evenrose. And he agrees that this is the best thing to do. And it is, oh my god, I'm telling you, it's such a good story. I really wish there was more chapters that I could read because it is so good. Anyway, so she goes back in time, and she wakes up at her 21st birthday, I think. It's either like 20th or 21st. She's 20 or she's like 20 or 21 when she goes back in time. And from that point, she remembers everything. She remembers her death and all that stuff. So in her mind, she's like, I need to do A, B, C, and D to make sure that I become the crown queen and I can set the humunculi free and stop this rebellion. So from when she wakes up, she starts laying these things into action, where she starts getting her father's approval, who is the king. She starts getting his approval, starts getting him to do stuff that she wants to make her goals more possible. This is a fantastic webtoon. Like I said, I really wish there was more chapters. I highly recommend it. The artwork is beautiful. The main female character is beautiful, inside and out. She's very smart. She's not annoying at all, which is very pleasant. And then you have our male character, who is very handsome. He's very strong. He can use magic really well, and I don't want to say easily falls in love with her, but there is a very strong connection that immediately starts, which is normal because she does eventually imprint on him, and he becomes like her humunculi knight. Now, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like I said again, I really recommend this one if you have any time. And I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any recommendations for me on what to read, I would love to hear it. Anyway, thank you and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.